inducted in Jerry Squires, inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2010. Jerry played semi-pro ball in the Victory League as an 11th grader. Played in the Cubs system, Manville, Texas in 1950, and next year was called up on the Naval Reserve. Back home, he played semi-pro ball until 1953 with the Blackwell, Oklahoma, Park City, and for Nick Stevens' team in the Victory League. We are pleased to have his family with us tonight. I'll put your hands together for the Jerry Squires family. Next we have Darrell Spencer, who played and managed in the NBC, was a member of the Ford Hall of Fame, class of 1994. This Wichita East High School product was a stand-up in 3 rounds: the Major League, the Japanese Professional League, and the National Baseball Congress. He was a rare shortstop who could hit with power. He hit 105 home runs and drove in 428.
All right, so when do you want to fire off?
We're good to go.
Lineups for today's game, presented by Sunflower Bank, with 3 locations in Wichita and networks spanning Kansas, Missouri, Colorado, New Mexico, and Texas. Sunflower Bank operates by a simple cost rate. Our range of financial products is designed to help create a possibility in the lives we touch and the communities we serve. Visit sunflowerbank.com to learn more. Sunflower Bank, creating possibilities. Member FDIC. Our starting lineups for today's game.
Hello.
David, we're good to go.
Yeah, we're ready, David. Can you hear something?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. I'm gonna fire it off now.
All right.
Second, the right fielder, number 8, Javis Larson.
Looks like they're going to break.
Second base, number 14, Michael Lawson.
We may just go right into this.
The following is a production of Steckline Communications and the Big Talker, 1480 AM and 1025 FM, KQAM. KQAM is on the air with the National Baseball Congress Tournament. NBC Baseball is brought to you by the Bill Mall All-State Insurance Agency, Comark Energy, Auto Smart, Cholita's Mexican Restaurant, Sand Creek Station of Newton, Davis Liquor Outlet, Just Right
If
Auto
they start
Repair,
warming up, I'm just going to go straight into the lineups.
Preferred Equipment, Wichita Tire and Alignment, Jim's Apple Market, E-Graphics, and by Cherry Oaks Golf Course of Cheney. This is NBC Baseball on the Big Talker, KQAM.
Hello and welcome to Lawrence Dumont Stadium on the banks of the Arkansas River here in Wichita, Kansas for the 83rd annual NBC World Series. It's Game 3 of opening night here at the NBC, and it's the Fort Collins, Colorado Bandits taking on the Mulvane Patriots. Denning Garrick and Steve Strain bringing you all the action. We're going to go ahead and get right down to the starting lineups as the Bandits, the home team, have taken the field. We'll start with our visitors from Mulvane. They'll lead off with the shortstop Channing Williams. Javis Larson will bat second. He's in right field. Michael Lawson hits third. He's at second base. Caleb Cox does the catching. He'll hit fourth. Dalton Dinkle bats fifth. He's at first base. Tyler Sutherland is in left field hitting sixth. Hunter Aguirre bats seventh in center field. Adam Brown is at third base hitting eighth. Mike Leal is the DH hitting ninth. And right-hander Ryan Erickson will be on the mound for the Mulvane Patriots. For the Fort Collins, Colorado Bandits, they will lead off with the center fielder Jake Mondragon. Kalen Hammer bats second. He's the second baseman. Isaac Bracken is in left field hitting third. Gabe Franklin in the cleanup spot. He'll be in right field. Spencer Gendreau is the designated hitter. He's batting fifth. Nathan Dill bats sixth. He's at third base. Garrett Hammer will do the catching, batting seventh. Quinn Tomasino bats eighth. He's at first base. And Daniel Sarala will round out the lineup, batting ninth at shortstop. On the mound for Fort Collins is a familiar name for Wichita baseball fans. It'll be right-hander Preston Snavely, 6'5", 210 pounds, from Fort Collins, Colorado. And he will be a rising sophomore at Wichita State next year. And he has completed his warm-up tosses. Channing Williams will stand in. We are just about ready for baseball here. Game 3 of opening night at the NBC World Series. Denning Garrick and Steve Strain. And Steve, it is always good to be back in Wichita. Always good to see the NBC tournament rolling along.
It is, and you know, you got a game where you've got local interest in both teams. You mentioned Preston Snavely as the first pitch comes in, outside for a ball. But then how about this Mulvane team, first-year league, and they've had a lot of success. So for the local baseball fan, which there are quite a few of, a lot of rooting interest on both sides.
Next offering to Channing Williams misses upstairs, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on the Mulvane shortstop. Yeah, we're going to tell you a lot about this Patriots team as we go along. It is a really interesting story. As Snavely kicks and delivers the 2-0, it's up and outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Not only the first year for the Patriots as a club, but the first year of the Sunflower Collegiate League, the league in which they qualified out of. They went 30-12 and 27-8 in league play. Snavely misses up and inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Williams to start the ball game. Steve, probably not how he imagined starting off his return to Wichita tonight.
Well, you've got to imagine that Preston Snavely's probably a little bit amped up, getting to pitch here in Wichita after especially, you know, spending the entire summer back in Colorado. He's back at his old stomping grounds where he's going to college now, probably got some friends here as well, and all of these players probably have some butterflies right now, a lot of adrenaline. That can obviously be most noticeable in a starting pitcher.
Snavely winds and fires. It's a bunt attempt right back to the mound. Snavely's got it, sets his feet and throws to first. Javis Larson is retired, but the sacrifice is completed. 1-3 on the putout as Williams advances to second on the play. And there's one down in the frame now. That'll bring up Michael Lawson.
Nice bunt by Larson. Did what he needed to do. And bunting, Denning, is something that we may see a lot of over the next couple of weeks. But for folks that don't realize, for those of you watching on YouTube, you do. But for those of you listening on radio, you may not know this is an all-turf field, which puts a lot of emphasis then on the touch for those bunts. So not an always an easy thing to do when you're trying to bunt and get one laid down. He did a good job there.
Snavely delivers, and it's all the way outside and back to the screen right by the catcher Hammer, and that's going to allow Williams to advance to third base. I think there was a mix-up in the signs there. Hammer is going to jog a new baseball out to Snavely, but that just looked like a fastball away that Hammer was looking for something else, and I'm not even sure he got leather on it.
Yeah, that wasn't even close to Hammer's glove. Then it banged off the backstop behind the plate. So just like that, a runner in scoring position now for Mulvane.
A ball and no strikes to Michael Lawson, left-hand hitting second baseman. Leads this Patriots club in RBI. He's got 37 on the summer. Snavely still working out of the stretch, misses with a fastball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes.
Denning, it has cooled off drastically since we got here earlier this afternoon. The temperature is all the way down to 100 degrees. Can you believe it?
Just cool and comfortable here.
Somebody get me a
Wichita.
jacket.
Fastball misses in tight, 3 balls and no strikes. And as Steve mentioned, an all-turf field, that only makes it hotter for the players, but it is not so bad up here in the press box. The command, however, for Preston Snavely is faltering just a little bit. He has already walked one and is now 3-0 on Lawson. He deals it, swung on and popped up left side. That's going to be playable for the shortstop Sarala, and he makes the catch. And Snavely gets a gift as Lawson swinging away on 3-0 pops out to short.
Yeah, how about that? 3 balls, no strikes going after one, especially with the runner at third. One out, a bit of a surprise right there, and Preston Snavely probably feels like he got a gift right there, swinging 3-0, and he gets the second out of the inning.
So 2 down and a chance for Snavely to escape unscathed. He'll have to get through the catcher Caleb Cox. Right on right matchup. Snavely brings the hands to a letter high set, and Cox rifles it down the left field line. This is going to be a fair ball, and it will take 1 hop off the field pass. It stays in play. Cox will cruise into second base with an RBI double, and the Mulvane Patriots grab a 1-0 lead in the top half of the first inning.
Well, he was not fooled on that one. Snavely let that one go right out over the plate, and Cox lined it right down the left field line. Looked like it landed literally on the line as it went down toward the corner, but Preston Snavely did not fool Cox right there. Mulvane on the board first.
This Mulvane team can absolutely swing the bats. They're hitting .333 as a club. As Snavely winds and fires, and he misses with a fastball into the first baseman Dalton Dinkle. And Dinkle has been a big reason why. He was kind of a late addition to this club. Only 52 at-bats on the summer, but how's this for productivity? He had hits in 26 of those 52 at-bats. Good for a nice .500 average. And he lashes it foul back to the screen, 1-1.
Getting back to the temperature, Denning, I was joking that it's down to 100. It was actually 106 degrees earlier on the left field scoreboard, which has the time and temperature, both of which are not working now. And I'm told that it's because of the extreme heat, that it overheated the scoreboard out there that's got the time and temperature on it.
Dinkle bloops one out into left center field. This is trouble, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. Cruising around third to score is Cox. Dinkle with a wide turn. He'll hold on at first base, but it's an RBI single. And the Mulvane Patriots extend their lead out to 2-0 in the top of the first.
Well, they've got a hard hit line drive RBI double right down the left field line. That was exactly the opposite. A very soft blooper, but it did the job out into shallow left field. And with the runner at second, Cox running on contact with 2 outs, an easy score for him and a quick 2-0 lead for Mulvane.
So Dinkle away at first base. That'll bring Tyler Sutherland to the plate. Snavely delivers a hard ground ball left side, going to be a tough play. Sarala, got it with a dive, but will have no play. Sarala did everything he could just to keep that ball on the infield, but Sutherland can get down the line in a hurry. The only real chance was the put out at second base, but Sarala wisely electing to eat that ball. It'll be an infield single that puts runners at first and second.
And there's that artificial surface on the infield, too. That one got out to deep short quickly. If this were a grass infield and dirt as well, perhaps that slows it down enough for Sarala to make a play, but no chance there. That one just skidded quickly deep into the hole.
Hunter Aguirre takes a fastball upstairs. The Mulvane center fielder, one of 5 left-handed sticks in this Patriots order. A lot of lefty swingers on the Mulvane side as Snavely nods at the sign from his catcher Hammer, gives a check of the runner on at second and delivers, and it's swung on and lashed foul over our heads off to the left. 1 ball and 1 strike. Preston Snavely, this past season for Wichita State, made 14 appearances all out of the Shocker pen. 6 2/3 innings, an ERA of 9.45, but he has been excellent this year for the Bandits. Was an all-star in the Mile High Collegiate League. Swing and a foul tip in and out of the mid of Hammer, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's actually one of 2 Wichita State pitchers on this Fort Collins team. Cody Hoyer, also a reliever for Wichita State, also on this Fort Collins team. Hoyer is also from Fort Collins, Colorado.
A ball and 2 strikes. Snavely delivers, and it's upstairs. That'll even things on Aguirre. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mulvane leading 2-0 here in the top half of the first inning. An RBI double from Caleb Cox, an RBI single from Dalton Dinkle, responsible for the scoring. Dinkle still away at second, Tyler Sutherland on at first. 2-2 is grounded foul up along first, and it sounded like Aguirre broke his bat as Snavely worked in on the hands. And we'll do it again. Preston Snavely on the summer, 1-2, but don't let the record fool you. A 2.76 ERA. He has worked both as a starter and a reliever. Has 1 save for the Bandits this summer. In 29 1/3 innings of work, he allowed just 28 hits, with 33 strikeouts to just 14 walks. So very good numbers for the 6'5", 210-pound right-hander. Trying to stop the bleeding here in the top of the first. Another 2-2 on the way. Is bounced out toward shortstop. Sarala has got it, sets his feet, throws on to first, and it is just in time to get a hustling Hunter Aguirre and retire the Patriots in the
For 6 generations, this land is.
Won't you come dream with me now, now? Yeah, chasing down a beautiful dream. Won't you come follow me now, now? Yeah, won't you come dream with me now, now?
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
making their 3rd all-time NBC appearance, their first since 2004. They have an all-time record here at Lawrence Dumont of 2-4. Erickson out of the full windup, kicks and delivers, and he drops a breaking ball in the inside corner to Mondragon. No balls and a strike.
These two teams, Denning, as you look at their rosters, really like believing and putting out on the field homegrown talent as the pitch comes low and inside. Fort Collins, Denning, has 3 players on their roster that are not from Colorado. And the Mulvane team as well have a number of Kansas kids as well.
16 specifically from Fort Collins. So the Bandits like to stay local. There's a swing and a miss on another good breaking ball from Erickson, and he's ahead of Mondrag a ball and 2 strikes.
Another thing we noticed about Fort Collins is all of the kids that are going into their freshman year of college that are on this team. So many with no college experience as of yet.
Very young ball club, relatively speaking, on the summer collegiate ranks, as Erickson misses just a little bit away. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Mondragon, who is way up in the box. That front foot is pressed firmly up against the line of the right-hand hitter's batter's box, and he cuts and misses at a breaking ball. Cox has to apply the tag, but he does so as Mondragon is down swinging to start things here in the bottom half of the first.
Breaking ball tailing down and away from the right-handed batter, and Mondragon went after it, but he obviously knew right after that he was fooled quite a bit on that. Nice job by Erickson out on the hill to get his first strikeout.
Here's Kalen Hammer, another right-hand hitter, bats with an open stance. And he slaps it foul off to the right side and out of play. Ryan Erickson was mostly an outfielder at Lamar, where he plays his collegiate baseball. He only appeared in 3 games for the Cardinals on the mound, totaling just 2 1/3 innings, but he has been outstanding for the Patriots so far this summer. His 0-1 is on the way, and it's popped up out into shallow left field. The shortstop, Williams, drifting out onto the turf, makes the call and makes the catch with 2 hands, and it's 2 up and 2 down for the Bandits here in the bottom of the first.
Speaking of youth, talking about all the kids going into college for this Fort Collins team, how about the 316 elite team from Kansas today? All high school kids, and they knocked off Round Rock, a summer college team, 12-5 after Round Rock jumped out to a 5-0 lead. That was the game before this. One of the reasons this game started so late.
First pitch is a strike to Isaac Bracken, 0-1. Yeah, very impressive showing by a very young 316 elite team. Bracken skies it out into left center field, but should be easy for a gear. He drifts over and makes the catch, and it's a smooth 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Erickson. He sends us to the top half of the second. Our score remains
Mount up, take off, and chase the sun. Experience more of what makes Kansas great. And let K-Tag help you get there. 236 miles of road, endless destinations of wonder. Start your adventure with K-Tag. Get your free K-Tag at myktag.com. two to nothing as Brown digs in against Bandits starter Preston Snavely, who winds and fires a fastball down and outside for ball 1. It was a rocky first inning, to say the least, for Snavely. Allowed 3 hits and a walk, and those 2 runs to cross the plate. As he kicks into the motion, here comes his 1-0 to Brown, and it's grounded sharply right back up the middle and on into center field. A clean single for Brown to start things for the Patriots here in the second.
And I was just about to say that maybe now that Snavely's got that first inning out of the way, I'd expect him to settle in now maybe and get the first inning jitters out of the way. And just credit Brown, though. That one right out over the plate, and he ripped it right back up the middle for the base hit.
That's going to bring Mike Leal to the plate, teammate of the
Patriots starting pitcher Ryan Erickson at Lamar University, a left-hand hitter. We'll see if he is electing to bunt. No sign of it on the first offering, which is a fastball that misses up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Leal, 307 in the regular season for the Patriots, 2 home runs and 32 RBI. And he was one of the 12 players to make the Sunflower Collegiate League All-Star Game, in addition to the Patriots coach, Gus Strunk. Fastball grabs the inside corner. It's 1-1.
We talked temperature earlier, Denning. We should also mention the wind at about 15 miles an hour out of the south toward left field. So enough to make a difference if somebody gets underneath one and sends it out toward left field.
Could play a factor in the ball game tonight. Snavely's 1-1 is down and inside, and fielding it on the backhand is Hammer. 2 balls and a strike. The Bandits wearing the orange tops tonight. They've got green accents with a green cap over white pants. A couple players have the green stirrups, while the Mulvane Patriots are in red tops with white accents and white numerals on the back over white pants. 2-1. Way inside off the tip of the glove of Hammer, and that'll go all the way back to the screen. It'll be a wild pitch, and Brown advances to second base. The count now goes to 3-1 on Leal. And Steve, it doesn't seem like Preston Snavely is quite yet found a rhythm. He has been all over the place through the first inning plus.
No, and again, I thought maybe having a chance to sit down while his team came up to bat might help him regain his composure, but that was also a very quick offensive inning for Snavely. He did not have much time. They went 1-2-3, did his team, and he's right back out there again, so maybe he needs more than an inning.
3-1 is a high chopper up the middle. Fielding it on the backhand is Hammer. Throws off balance. The tag not in time, as beating it out is Leal. Coming off the first base bag was Tomasino. He tried to apply a swipe tag, but it was on the back of Leal after the foot had made contact with those red, white, and blue bases. And it's an infield single that puts runners at the corners, still nobody out as we head back to the top of the order.
AstroTurf bounce right there, high out in front of the plate, a high bounce probably of around 20 feet or so high out towards second base. Nice play by Hammer once he caught it. Even nicer play by Tomasino, the first baseman, to try the swipe tag, but just a little bit late, and now runners at the corners.
Mulvane threatening to add to what is already a 2-0 lead, and Channing Williams takes a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Williams did not see a strike his first time up. He walked on 4 pitches and eventually came around to score on the Caleb Cox RBI double. Everyone on this Mulvane team a threat to go. Leal at first is no exception. Williams will sky it out into short right field, drifting out on it to second baseman Hammer, and he'll make the catch. Both runners bluff a tag, but no advancement, and a big first out for Preston Snavely.
It's a real big out. Now it sets up an infield double play with a runner at first base. Snavely really needed that one.
This will be a difficult man to double up in Javis Larson. He is 19 of 20 in stolen bases this year. He can fly. Laid down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Swings it from the left side, so he gets out of the box even quicker. Snavely nods at the sign. Hammer sets up away, and the fastball works away. 1 ball and no strikes. Snavely, mostly fastball slider, throws that fastball from kind of a abbreviated arm slot, so it can get on you pretty quickly. Has good sinking action to it. Big, tall, projectable right-hander, 6'5", 210 pounds. Checks on Leal and the 1-0. Fastball in there at the knees, nicely spotted, and it's 1-1. This Mulvane team stole 104 bases in 116 attempts on the summer. Leal at first base was 9 for 9. He's got a pretty good lead over there as Snavely gives him a check. And the 1-1. Breaking ball bends in across the outside corner, and it's 1-2.
That would be pretty efficient.
104 for 116. It was not great at math, but that is good, yes.
In approximately 40 games?
Yeah, 42 games, yep. So well over 2 stolen bases per game. Bluffing a move was Leal. Now he's running. The pitch is swung on and fouled off by Larson as he had to cut it loose with 2 strikes. Nearly a running lead for Leal, but he kind of mistimed it. Had to throw up a stop sign and then went ahead and broke again.
Yeah, he started, stopped, and started again, and it was fouled back and out of play. So we'll see what he's doing here with the count 1-2 now. Still only 1 out in the inning, though.
2-0 Mulvane our score, top half of the second inning. Leal bluffs a run. Now he is going, and the pitch is lined towards the gap in left center. There is nobody there. One run's going to score easily. Leal will get the wave around third base. He's going to come in to score, and it's going to be a 2-run double for Larson as Mulvane doubles the advantage out to 4-0 here in the top of the second.
Boy, that's a nice piece of hitting right there. Taking one the other way with 2 strikes on him, and he did. He split the gap right in between Mondragon in center and Bracken in left field. And Denning talking about this team, Mulvane, and how much they like to run. Fort Collins, and how much they like to run. A field that's all turf like that can only play into their advantage even more, too. They had to be licking their chops coming into this game.
Michael Lawson, the batter now, and he takes a fastball upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to the Mulvane second baseman. 0 for 1, popped out to the shortstop Sarala on a 3-0 count back in the first. But now a chance for some redemption. He's got Larson out in scoring position, still just 1 out in the frame. And a 1-0, way up and outside with a fastball. And I think Fort Collins preparing some action down in their pen. They've already got a guy stretching and a bullpen catcher headed down there as the count goes to 2-0.
Yeah, if you're Mulvane, your first year, first time they fielded a team, you get to play in the NBC World Series. Not only is it right up the road in this ballpark in Wichita, but a park tailor-made for their speed with all this turf as well.
Weekly bounce back to the mound. Snavely bobbles it, now recovers, throws to first, and it's just in time to get a hustling Michael Lawson by a step. Advancing to third on the play is Larson, but nearly disaster there for Snavely as he kind of checked that slow hopper back into his body before making the play.
Yeah, kind of hit him in the chest, and he did do one thing well. He kept it in front of him. He didn't try to snag it with his glove and get his body out of the way, so good job by Preston there to use the body to keep the ball in front of him, knock it down, and make the play.
So now it's Caleb Cox. He takes down and inside for ball 1. Cox came to the plate in this exact same situation in the first. With a man at third base and 2 out, he delivered a line drive RBI double down the left field line that skipped just off of the foul line. And then he eventually came around to score on the Dalton Dinkle RBI single. Takes a little bit away, 2 balls and no strikes.
Fort Collins should not panic here, Denning. Again, in that 3-16 elite game, they trailed Round Rock 5-0 very early in that game and scored 12 unanswered runs, as I said earlier. So long way to go in this one. Not a good start, but a long way to go for sure.
Skips off the glove of the catcher, hammer all the way back to the screen, and scoring from third base will be Larson. It's now 5-0 Patriots on the third wild pitch of the evening from Preston Snavely, and the count goes to 3-0 on Cox. He has just not had the fastball command tonight, and it has bit him in a big way.
And there are now 2 warming up down in the Fort Collins bullpen, so they've got double barrel action going, a lefty and a righty, as this thing has been a very rocky start for Snavely. You know he's got to be disappointed. 5 runs, 6 hits already through an inning and 2/3.
His 3-0 fastball grabs the outside corner, 3-1. We hesitate to mention this, but there is a run rule in play here at the NBC World Series. 10 runs after 6 or 8 runs after 7, and Mulvane off to the races, already leading 5-0 here in the top of the second. The 3-1 is popped up foul right side, coming over the first baseman Tomasino, slides, and he can't get to it as he rolls into the padding. And that'll run the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Made a really nice effort right there, did Tomasino, the first baseman for Fort Collins. Probably started his slide a little bit earlier. He had a little bit more room for a few more steps, and then possibly could have made that catch as it landed in the field of play, but it gets a little scary the closer you get to those walls in foul territory.
Deep breath from Snavely. His 3-2 is tapped foul right at home plate off the inside of the foot of Cox, and we will do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. This is the 3rd game of the day in the opening day of the NBC World Series. The Austin, Texas Shockers defeated the Sterling, Colorado Express 9-3 in the opener. And then, as Steve mentioned just a moment ago, the 3-1-6 Elite beating the Round Rock, Texas Express 12-5. 3-2. Breaking ball misses inside. It's ball 4, and Caleb Cox is aboard for a second time this evening. And he will trot down to first base with a 2-out walk. So that'll bring Dalton Dinkle to the plate. Looped an RBI single into left center field his first time up. But before he can dig in, we're going to have a visit to the mound. Kaleo Chung, the manager of this Bandits club, bringing the entire infield in around him. And we'll see if this is it for Preston Snavely.
Second walk issued by Snavely, and Denning, the very first walk he issued was the very first batter of the game, Channing Williams, who also came around to score. So this just was sideways from the start for Preston Snavely. He's going to stay in the game. He's got a little bit more work to do, though. There are 2 outs, but a runner at first, and a very dangerous part of the Fort Collins lineup, or excuse me, the Mulvane lineup. They're up there now in Dalton Dinkle.
Steve had told you the double barrel action working down in the right field bullpen. Looks like left-hander Garrett Hammond is on one mound and Colby Carlson, a righty, on the other for the Bandits. As Snavely peers in for the sign, he's got the one he wants. And his first pitch on the way to Dalton Dinkle is a foul tip, I think. Home plate umpire has not made any kind of gesture. The ball goes back to the screen, going all the way to third. On the play is Cox.
Nobody can find the ball. The home plate umpire, the ball has disappeared.
Ryan Carl, who is our home plate umpire, did not make any kind of a signal. Now going back to second is Cox. And there was a check swing from Dinkle, and I thought it was a foul ball. And now is Fort Collins going to change catchers? What is happening here? Chung has come out of the first base dugout, and yeah, it looks like the Bandits are going to change catchers in the middle of an inning, in the middle of an at-bat. What in the world happened there?
Well, I still never saw where the ball went, and the home plate umpire and the catcher Hammer couldn't find it, and then Caleb Cox actually ended up all the way at third base from first, while the umpire and Hammer were still looking for the ball, and perhaps the ball went out of play, and maybe that's what it ended up being, is it went up over the backstop, and so that's why the runner Cox is only able to go to second base. But there have been some trouble spots behind the plate so far, Denning, with the catcher. And remember, in the first inning, Hammer wasn't on the same page with Snavely, so maybe Coach Chung just decided that that's, you know, been
for every celebration, for every 6 a.m. wake-up call, for every heartache, for every homecoming, for every home, there is York. Environmentally responsible and technologically advanced to provide the optimal home environment while keeping you connected. Life by you, comfort by York.
Caleb Cox otherwise would be down at third base, so he must have been forced to go back to second once they realized the ball went out of play, but it took a long time for anybody to figure that out.
It is another wild pitch for Fort Collins, and a runner now at second base, 2 outs. Snavely kicks and delivers, and it swung on and popped up out into shallow right field. Drifting back on it is Hammer. Makes the call and makes the catch up above his head to retire the side, but it's another crooked number up on the scoreboard for Mulvane. As we move to the bottom half of the second inning, our new score, the Patriots 5 and the Bandits nothing. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Hands down, it's Bill Maul's Allstate Insurance Agency. 773-9864 and tell them the X-Man sent you.
Well, if it was a rocky first couple of innings for Preston Snavely, it was anything but for Ryan Erickson. He cruised through the first inning on just 9 pitches and now has a 5-0 lead to work with as we move into the bottom half of the second inning. The Mulvane Patriots and the Fort Collins, Colorado Bandits doing battle here in the opening night of the 83rd annual NBC World Series. It's the 3rd game of the day. You may have heard the buzzer going off in the background there. There is a pitch clock in play, but home plate umpire Ryan Carl waved that one off. And now Gus Strunk, the Mulvane manager, wants to come out of the dugout to see what the issue was there. But apparently Carl has an explanation for him, and so we're ready for play as Gabe Franklin will dig in to get us started. A right-on-right matchup. He's first pitch swinging, and he lines it on into center field for a base hit. First base runner of the evening for the Bandits, as Franklin was not waiting around. He slaps it right back up the box and represents a leadoff runner for the Bandits here in the second. That'll bring Spencer Gendreau to the plate, the designated hitter. Left-hand swinger, 382 in the regular season for the Bandits. He takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. No home runs and 5 RBI for Gendreau. This Fort Collins team, 300 batting average as a club, but not a whole lot of power. Bounces out towards second base, might be 2. Lawson goes to second for 1. The relay on to first is in time. Lawson to Williams to Dinkle, 4-6-3, and the Patriots induce the twin killing. It's 2 outs and nobody aboard.
Taylor made for Lawson that time, pretty much just right at him. And again, not a real well-struck ball, but on this turf, it got out there quicker than it normally would and turned into a relatively easy 4-6-3, started by Lawson at second base.
So a chance for another very quick 1-2-3 inning for Erickson if he can get through Nathan Dill. And he throws a fastball in the inside corner, 0-1. Dill, a big right-hand hitter, 383 for the Bandits in the regular season. An open stance from the right side. He grounds it sharply left side, and it's a base hit, splitting Brown and Williams. Second hit of the inning, and it's a 2-out single for Dill. So that's going to give us our first look at Chris Dial, who came on in the middle of an at-bat at catcher in the top half of this inning. He took over for Garrett Hammer, and now will swing it for the first time. Right-hand hitter, 5'11", 195 pounds from Central Arizona, and he swings and fouls it back to the screen. No balls and a strike. 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Mulvane Patriots. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the Fort Collins, Colorado Bandits. Swinging another foul back to the screen. Couple good cuts for Hammer, excuse me, for Dial, but nothing to show for it as he is down in the count, 0-2. His Bandits team 18-8 in the Mile High Collegiate League to qualify for the NBC. Dial bloops it out towards left center field. Coming on is Sutherland. He's got it measured and makes the catch to retire the side. A couple of singles, but the double play erases much of the threat. And we move to the top of the third with our score still Mulvane 5 and Fort Collins 0. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQ.
NBC baseball fans, make some noise if you wish you were mowing your lawn right now.
Just kidding. What if you could mow your lawn right from your stadium seat? Seriously, get out your phone, go to the App Store, and download the Lawn Buddy app. The first 100 people to book service with Lawn Buddy will be entered to win free lawn care for the rest of 2017. Lawn Buddy. Push button, get lawn care.
Seven days a week, from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., you can count on Jim's Apple Market of Cheney. And Jim's Apple Market of Cheney, always serving you, has become more than just your grocery store. It's your authorized U-Haul dealer and your headquarters for Traeger wood pellet grills. Locally owned and operated, Jim's Apple Market of Cheney. Learn about their weekly specials at myapplemarket.com.
5-0, the Mulvane Patriots in their NBC World Series debut, leading the Fort Collins, Colorado Bandits. And they will send the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to the plate: Tyler Sutherland, Hunter Aguirre, and Adam Brown against right-hander Preston Snavely, who is still looking to settle in. He allowed 2 in the first and 3 more in the second, as Sutherland will dig in to get us underway. Snavely winds and fires. Sutherland cranks the first pitch he sees out to relatively deep left center field, but Mondragon has it measured, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. That Mondragon name should be somewhat familiar to Wichita area baseball fans. Joe Mondragon played for the Hutchinson Blue Dragons, a local community college in the area, and a very good one at that. The Mondragon family very involved in baseball programs all around the Fort Collins area. As Aguirre stands in, and the first pitch is bounced, and that may have got the home plate umpire Ryan Carl.
He's going to have to walk around and shake that one off.
I don't think Chris Dial got any part of that baseball on a fastball that skipped a couple feet in front of home plate, and Dial just whiffed as it drills Ryan Carl. And so Dial walks a new baseball out to his right-hander just to give Carl a break.
He might be asking Kaleo Chung if he's got a third catcher after that one.
Snavely into the line. Here comes the 1-0, and it's bounced in low again. This time a little bit easier for Dial to smother, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on Aguirre. Bounced out to the shortstop Sarala, his first time up. 2-0 coming from Snavely. Grounded out towards second base. Charging in is Hammer. He fields and throws all in one motion, and it's in time to retire Aguirre. And a good start to the top of the third for Preston Snavely. He has set down the first 2 that he's faced and looking for his first 0 on the scoreboard.
Thrown very few pitches, too, and this was the inning that I thought Snavely might come out with in the second after he got the first inning jitters out of the way. But as I said earlier, perhaps that at bat in the bottom of the first for Fort Collins was just too quick. So we needed more time to shake off the adrenaline and the cobwebs and get out there and settle in and get dialed in.
Adam Brown takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Snavely could certainly use a quick inning. Threw 20 pitches in the first and 26 more in the second. Brown floats it down the right field line, foul territory, and reaching to make the catch is Tomasino. And it is a 1-2-3 inning for Preston Snavely, a much-needed one at that, as he will send us to the home half of the third inning. Our score remains the Mulvane Patriots 5 and the Fort Collins Bandits 0. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Did you know that AutoSmart offers fleet service? AutoSmart features certified ASE technicians and same-day service for your fleet. AutoSmart will perform computer diagnostics on your vehicles, and they'll determine what
57, 58, 59, 60.
Locations to serve you across Wichita. Davis Liquor Outlet.
Mulvane Patriots 5, Fort Collins Bandits 0, as we proceed into the bottom half of the third inning here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Denning Gehrig and Steve Strain bringing you all the action on the opening night of play here at the 83rd Annual NBC World Series. It's Quinn Tomasino, Daniel Sarala, and Jake Mondragon, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming to the plate against right-hander Ryan Erickson, who Steve has been outstanding so far with a couple of scoreless frames.
Well, and not that it's, you know, a case of Fort Collins running out of time, but you'd like to feel like maybe they've got some momentum now. Snavely had his first 1, 2, 3, and let's see if now their offense can come up and feel like that gave them a boost they need to get a rally started.
Tomasino, first pitch hacking, chases one out of the zone and comes up empty. Erickson working quickly, misses down and away, so it's a ball and a strike. Again, there is a 20-second pitch clock right above the right field fence out here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium to keep the games moving quickly. Here's a swing and a miss by Tomasino, 1-2.
left-hand hitting first baseman, made the catch in foul territory to end the top half of this inning. And he watches a changeup float high and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's from Greeley and played at Fort Collins High School, but he's got a brother, Blake Denning, who plays at Washburn here in Kansas.
Swing and a miss as Erickson gets him to chase a pitch down and out of the zone. It is strikeout number 2 for Erickson, and 1 up and 1 down in the frame. And that Washburn connection makes its way onto the Fort Collins roster a couple of times. Gabe Franklin, who's in the cleanup spot in right field tonight, plays for the Ichabods. But for now, it is Daniel Sarala, the shortstop, who will stand in from the right side. Erickson deals just a little bit tight with a fastball, 1-0. Sarala also from Fort Collins, 5'9", 170 pounds. Plays his college ball at the Colorado School of Mines. 2 balls and no strikes as Erickson misses low. Trying to start a rally down here at the bottom of the order. Mondragon waits at the top of the on-deck circle. And the fastball grabs the inside corner, 2-1.
We talked about the Wichita State connection on Fort Collins with Cody Hoyer and Preston Snavely. How about Sloan Baker that pitches for this Mulvane team? Maybe we'll see him later in the NBC as the pitch comes in for a ball. Sloan Baker, the brother of none other than Ron Baker.
Wichita State connections abound.
Yeah.
Sloan, no stranger to this tournament, pitched last year for the Salina Blue Jays. As the 3-1 is in there for a strike to run it full on Sarala.
Imagine we'll see Ronnie out here if he's not right now.
Would not be surprised one bit. Here comes the 3-2. Popped up, should be playable. Waiting on it is the catcher Cox, and he makes the catch in foul territory. He's kind of staggered just a little bit, but eventually got the feet settled and made the catch. It's 2 up and 2 down for the Bandits here in the third.
Well, and how about Erickson, the pitcher, charging all the way across the third baseline, and he looked like he wanted to have a crack at that one too. Usually you'll see a third baseman come over like maybe Brown, but this was the pitcher charging up after that one just in case.
Mondragon in from the right side now. And they'll try and restart the rally with 2 outs as Erickson delivers high. What's your stance on pitchers catching pop-ups or going after them?
I've always heard, now I didn't pitch much myself, but that it was pretty much a no-no, that's not what you're there for, and you know, the risk of injury.
Swing and a miss by Mondragon. I wonder, something that might change that is Erickson is an outfielder in college. He plays outfield for Lamar, and so
instinct.
I'm sure he's a good enough athlete to go catch a pop-up. You know, here comes his 1-1 to Mondragon, and it's skipped down and inside off the glove of Cox and back to the screen. 2 balls and a strike.
And I've definitely heard that if the pop fly, and this wasn't the case here, but if it's right above the mound, they say don't catch it, because that's a really hard play for a catcher when it's straight above you and you're standing on the mound. That's where you really want to give way to one of your other infielders.
Cut and a miss by Mondragon, 2-2. And I wonder if that's the same principle as a ball hit right at the center fielder, where they say that's the toughest ball for an outfielder to judge. But we will have to wait and see. The 2-2 breaking ball cut on and missed. The tag applied by Cox, and to answer the 1-2-3 of Preston Snavely, Ryan.
For 6 generations, this land is provided for this Kansas farmer's family. Now, it also provides affordable, clean energy for Kansas. Watch the full story at weststarenergy.com/clean energy.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, head to visitwichita.com for all there is to see.
57, 58, 59, 60.
Stadium, the Mulvane Patriots leading the Fort Collins Bandits by the score of 5-0. They will try and tack on with the 9-1-2 hitters, Mike Leal, Channing Williams, and Javis Larson against right-hander Preston Snavely, who is back out for a 4th inning of work. First pitch fastball grabs the inside corner to Leal. No balls and a strike on the Mulvane designated hitter. Single and a run scored for him in the ballgame so far tonight. Swings and bounces this one slowly up the first base line, fielded there by Tomasino, and he will take it to the bag 3 unassisted, then promptly chucks it out into left field, trying to throw it around the horn. But for Snavely, he has now settled down just a little bit. He's now retired 5 in a row, and it's 1 up and 1 down for the Patriots in the 4th. Back to the top of the order for Channing Williams. The shortstop has reached base on a walk and scored a run, and then popped out to second his last time up. Snavely winds and fires, bouncing ball back up the middle, and that's going to find center field for a base hit. 7th base hit of the evening for the Patriots, and a 1-out single for Williams, who's aboard for the 2nd time tonight.
And now you think about that steal again, a Mulvane team that loves to steal. They've got a speedy guy on over at first base, their shortstop Williams, on this turf as well, so should get fun here to see if they put his wheels in motion.
Nobody better at the stolen base on this Patriots club than Williams. He is 25 of 28 in thieveries this year. He's going, and the pitch is slashed foul. Watch out as that one makes its way through the Bud Light party deck and out of play. A late swing by Larson, probably just trying to protect his runner, but it's no balls and a strike.
Who got a very good jump, by the way. Probably would have stolen a base if contact had not been made, but nonetheless, we'll try it again.
Larson has the biggest hit in the ballgame so far. 2-run double to the gap in left center field back in the 2nd. He eventually came around to score on a wild pitch. Takes up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike as Williams not on the move that time. Mulvane got 2 runs in the 1st. RBI double from Caleb Cox and an RBI single from Dalton Dinkle, and then added 3 more in the 2nd on Larson's double and the wild pitch. Snavely is ready. 1-1, popped foul, and that's going to find the seats as it got in on the hands of Larson, and it moves the count now to a ball and 2 strikes.
Nice crowd out here tonight, Denning. This afternoon for the earlier games, there were not many people here, no local teams playing too, which didn't help, but also the temperature as well. It's cooled off some, got a little bit of cloud cover, but with the Mulvane team playing from right down the road, not a bad turnout here this evening.
Not bad indeed. Snavely is ready, checks on Williams, he's going. The pitch is flown down the left field line, foul territory, and it's going to get out of play as it lands right in front of the Mulvane Patriots bullpen. We'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Looks like some pretty good support for this Patriots club. Again, they are in just their 1st year of existence in a league, the Sunflower Collegiate League, that is in its 1st year as well. And the Patriots qualifying for the NBC and on top in their 1st ever game, 5-0. Swing and a miss by Larson as Snavely gets him to chase a breaking ball down and inside. That's a strikeout and 2 outs in the frame for Michael Lawson.
I'll tell you the thing I like there about Snavely, he didn't get distracted by Williams over at first. A lot of times when you see a speedy guy up there and they've got the hit and run on or a threat to steal, a pitcher sometimes can lose his focus. And that didn't happen with Snavely that time. Continued to pound the zone and eventually got the K.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Williams on the move with 2 outs now. Snavely's ready. There he goes. Pitches outside. The throw down by Dials, a good one, and it is in time. Williams cut down trying to steal on an excellent.
Good afternoon, baseball fans. I'm meteorologist Katie Western here in the KSN Storm Tracker 3 Weather Center. Well, I hope you're finding ways to beat the heat out there this afternoon. We're on our way to near record highs in Wichita today, topping off around 105 degrees. Excessive heat warnings are in place. This is dangerous, folks. Please make sure you are staying hydrated. We'll also keep with lots of sunshine through the evening, so hopefully you lathered up in that sunscreen. Also some breezy southwest winds today, barely cooling to the upper 90s by the evening. Then we're finally down into the 80s after dark by the time you're headed home around 10, 11 o'clock, but it will be a bit more humid, so keeping it feeling very warm outside. So just stay cool out there today, folks, but enjoy the games.
For every celebration, for every 6 a.m. wake-up call, for every heartache, for every homecoming, for every home, there is York. Environmentally responsible and technologically advanced to provide the optimal home environment while keeping you connected. Life by you, comfort by York.
Patriots lead the Fort Collins Bandits by the score of 5-0. Erickson will contend with Kalen Hammer, Isaac Bracken, and Gabe Franklin, 2, 3, and 4 in the Bandits order, and he misses up and inside to Hammer to get us started in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Hammer is 0 for 1, popped out to the shortstop Williams, his first time up, and takes him tight, 2 balls and no strikes. All righties due up in the frame. There are 3 lefties sprinkled in amongst this Fort Collins Bandits order, but mostly down towards the bottom half. Swinging away on 2-0 is Hammer, and he pops it out into shallow center field. Williams drifting onto the outfield turf makes the catch, and it's 1 up and 1 down for Ryan Erickson here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Just 2 singles for Fort Collins so far. They both came in the second inning, but one of those was erased on a double play, and then Erickson able to dance around the second, which came with 2 outs. As Isaac Bracken comes to the plate now, flew out to center and takes upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. By my count, Erickson has gone to just 1 3-ball count in the ball game so far. Broken bad liner out into center field is going to fall in for a base hit, and the barrel makes it all the way out towards third. Is over to retrieve. That is Brown. Retrieving the baseball is a gear, but it's a 1-out single as that bat dies a hero.
Yeah, Channing Williams, the shortstop, watched that ball sail out toward him and over his head into left center field, but he also, and you could see it, he stopped for a second and looked back because part of that bat was flying out toward his direction as well. Then it started to tail over toward third base, but that distracted him initially, seeing both a flying ball and part of a flying bat flying over toward the left side of the infield.
Keep your eye on the ball and also on the bat as Gabe Franklin comes to the plate now. He is again first pitch hacking, and he chases a breaking ball out of the zone this time, 0-1. Franklin notched the first base hit for the Bandits with a solid single back up the middle, leading off the second. Right-hand hitter, kind of a low crouch stance. Big swing and a pop back foul. Giving it a look is Cox, but it's going to be onto the roof of the press box, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. 5 runs on 7 hits with no errors for the Mulvane Patriots. No runs now on 3 hits for the Fort Collins Bandits. Neither side has committed an error. 0-2, little squibber down towards first base. Fielding it there is Dinkle. Will go to second for 1. The relay to first is not going to be in time, as getting over there late was Dinkle to cover the bag. It's a fielder's choice as Bracken is retired for the second out and Franklin reaches on the play.
Nice play by Dinkle over at first, charging in on that little ball that was cue-stick toward him up the first base line. And a lot of times you'll see the first baseman just go ahead and step on the bag when the ball is rolling that slowly, but he rolled the dice, thought he could still whip around and throw one to second in time, and he did get it there just in the nick of time.
So it's Spencer Gendreau. He takes down and outside. It's off the glove of Cox, back to the screen, and that's going to allow Franklin to advance to second. It'll be the first runner in scoring position for the Bandits tonight, and it comes courtesy of a wild pitch from Ryan Erickson.
Another reason, Denning, I think Dinkle makes that throw to second is because he had to charge in toward home a little bit to field that ground ball. The angle to throw to second was clearer than had he been even with the bag at first.
A fair point indeed, as the 1-0 offering from Erickson misses just off the plate outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes to the left-hand hitting Gendreau, who bounced into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up. Has kind of an interesting stance with the way he holds the bat, but he watches the 2-0 miss low, and he is now in the driver's seat. 3 balls and no strikes. As the elbow's kind of locked out and the barrel at a somewhat awkward angle, 3-0 is right down the heart of the plate as he looked to be taking all the way. It's 3-1.
One of many guys on this Fort Collins team that has yet to play collegiately. Just wrapped up his high school career at Rocky Mountain High School and Fort Collins.
And he takes the 3-1 outside for ball 4. It's the first walk handed out by Erickson. And he'll put runners at first and second, 2 out. Rocky Mountain High School, where Kaleo Chung coaches as an assistant, the head coach of the Fort Collins Bandits, and Gendreau will be headed off to Scottsdale Community College, which, if memory serves, their mascot is the Fighting Artichokes, which, for my money, is the best mascot in all of collegiate sports, as Nathan Dill comes to the plate. Erickson misses in tight 1-0.
And if it still is, it would be interesting that you've got the Fighting Artichoke at first and Dill at the plate.
So many food puns available to us right now.
A buffet of them.
Here comes the 1-0. It's grounded sharply. That is a fair ball down the left field line. That's going to score at least one. Is Franklin coming in to score. Gendreau digging for third. He's going to get a late stop sign as the throw comes in. And now he just does get back to the bag in ahead of the throw. But it's an RBI double for Nathan Dill, and Fort Collins is on the board. It's now 5-1 Mulvane here in the bottom half of the fourth.
Well, I really liked what I'd seen from Erickson up to this point in the game. Had really good command, but it seems like now that they're on this second time through the lineup that maybe this Fort Collins team has started to figure him out a little bit. And in fact, time has been called, coach out of the dugout for Mulvane, to talk with Erickson out on the mound. But, you know, sometimes it takes a couple times through that lineup for guys to start to really get a feel for the opposing pitcher. And maybe that's a case that Fort Collins has started to figure some things out. And they've got a chance here. They've got 2 outs, but 2 in scoring position. So another base hit, and they could be right back in this thing in a hurry.
Yeah, certainly conceivable that a base hit here with 2 outs could bring home a pair, as home plate umpire Ryan Carl heads out to break up this meeting on the mound. Gus Strunk, the leader of this Mulvane club. He's assisted by Jacob Bryant in the first year of this Mulvane Patriots program, bringing a record of 30-12, 27-8 in the Sunflower Collegiate League, as Chris Dial, now the batter, takes a breaking ball low, 1 ball and no strikes. It was Dial who cut down Channing Williams trying to steal to end the top half of this fourth, and he can't check his swing on a breaking ball down, went too far. It's a ball and a strike.
That was a heck of a throw he made down to second base as well.
1-1. That's bounced low again. Nice block this time from Cox. 2 balls and a strike. Looks like Erickson has elected to work out of the full windup with runners at second and third, so those two can get fairly substantial leads. 5-1 our score. 2-1. Nice breaking ball, snaps across the inside corner, and it's even at 2-2 on Dial.
He had a nice last season at Central Arizona, Denning. 299, a couple homers, 20 runs batted in.
He was making a bid for a couple runs driven in there, but instead he bounces it foul, wide of the third base bag and wide of the third base coach. We will do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Easily the longest pitch count inning for Ryan Erickson, who entered this frame with just 33 pitches on his ledger. Breaking ball just a little bit inside, maybe a touch high as well, but deemed to be not a strike according to Ryan Carl, and it's run the count full at 3-2.
Well, you can probably hear the oohs and ahs from the Mulvane folks right there as Caleb Cox framed that one.
Now the 3-2, looped out towards right center. It's in for a base hit. 1-1 will score. Gendreau gets a late stop sign as the throw is cut off. Excuse me, that was Dill getting the stop sign. Gendreau scores on the play. It's an RBI single for Dial. And Fort Collins has now cut it to 5-2, and now they will bring on, they wanted to bring on a courtesy runner, I think, and I'm not sure that's allowed. And so the courtesy runner heads back to the dugout. The batter now is Quinn Tomasino. Runners at the corners and 2 outs, and Tomasino cranks it out towards deep right center field. Larson on the run, still tracking, dives and can't get to it. 1 run scores, 2 runs will score. Tomasino digging for third. He'll be in there standing, and just like that, it is a 5-4 ball game on the 2-run triple from Tomasino.
Javis Larson in right field was playing very, very shallow, had to go really a long, long way back into his right, and then had to dive out toward the warning track and able to get a glove on it. But Denning, he was very, very shallow right there and had a long way to go. Still made a valiant effort, but got there late, and we've got ourselves a 1-run game, tying run at third.
All this coming with 2 outs as Daniel Sarala, the shortstop, takes upstairs, a ball and no strikes.
Yeah, how about that? It was a fly out to shortstop on that first at bat, and then after a single, the runner was gunned down at second on a fielder's choice. Pitch comes in for a ball, and you thought, well, 2 outs, runner at first, another harmless inning for Erickson, and the floodgates have opened.
It turned around in a hurry. Walk, double, single, triple. And now a fastball is low, and it's 3 balls and no strikes to Sarala as Erickson has lost the plot quickly, and it's prompted some activity down the Mulvane pen. 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch. Fastball grabs the outside corner, 3-1.
I think I'm seeing the same thing you are. 13 that's not on the roster.
We do not have a number 13 on the Mulvane roster. That's the man warming up down in the Patriots pen, but the 3-1 is low, and Sarala draws the walk. He represents the potential go-ahead run on at first base as we head back to the top of the order for Jake Mondragon.
It's funny how many similarities this game is taking on to the previous game. I mentioned that the Round Rock Express led 5-0 over the 3-1-6 Elite.
Mondragon cuts and misses on a breaking ball, 0-1.
They also scored, did the Round Rock Express, 3 runs in one of the first 2 innings and 2 runs in the other, just like this game, and then the Elite just got hot in the middle of the game. Exactly what's happened here.
Runner breaks, the pitch is low, and no throw from the catcher Cox, as stealing second is Sarala. And so that's going to put runners at second and third, 2 outs, and now a base hit from Mondragon could potentially give Fort Collins the lead here in the bottom half of the 4th. It's 5-4 Mulvane, our score. 1-1. Ground ball left side, backing up to field. It is Brown. That's a long throw to make, but it's in time to get Mondragon and the Bandits.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, head to visitwichita.com for all there is to see.
For 6 generations, this land is provided for this Kansas farmer's family. Now, it also provides affordable, clean energy for Kansas. Watch the full story at weststarenergy.com/clean energy.
Mount up, take off, and chase the sun. Experience more of what makes Kansas great. And let K-Tag help you get there. 236 miles of road, endless destinations of wonder. Start your adventure with K-Tag. Get your free K-Tag at myktag.com.
And 4th, and will try and replicate the feat in the 5th against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, starting with Michael Lawson, who takes a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Lawson was at the plate when Channing Williams was gunned down trying to steal second in the top of the 4th. Snavely delivers the 0-1. Fastball grabs the inside corner, and it's quickly 0-2. It looks like Preston Snavely may have found a second win. The right-hander working quickly, nods at the sign, and here comes his 0-2. Lined out into shallow left field, charging in is Bracken, and he's got it measured and makes a shoulder-high catch. 1 up and 1 down for Mulvane here in the 5th.
Well, when your offense and you're down 5-0 and you struggled, comes out and gives you 4 runs all of a sudden in 1 inning, and they've made it a 1-run game, that does give you a little bit of a boost. Snavely again starting to maybe find his way anyway the last couple of innings. That offensive output could only help him right here, and we'll see if he can continue to shut down Mulvane after this rocky start.
Caleb Cox, his first pitch swinging. He skies it into foul territory down the line, and it's going to be out of the reach of Dill and Sarala. No balls and a strike. And that foul ball kind of takes us in the direction of the left field line and gives us a look out over the left field stands at a sky that is looking a little bit ominous now. There are some flashes of lightning and very dark skies. We hope that stays away from Lawrence Dumont. As the count moves to no balls and a strike on Cox. Snavely delivers, and it's down and inside 1-1.
Although a little precipitation probably wouldn't bother very many people.
Maybe just to cool things off
Right.
a little bit.
The lightning can stay. We don't mind a little moisture.
Here comes the 1-1. Check swing foul ball as Cox tried to hold up at a fastball upstairs and just redirected it right at home plate. It's now 1-2.
But getting back to Snavely, though, Denning, I mean, you're a baseball guy. They talk about the shutdown inning, you know, after your offense comes out and does the job, and that's kind of what's at hand here for Snavely. His team trailing, but still, they feel like they've probably got some momentum back.
I think that is definitely a fair assessment. He misses with a fastball up, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cox, who has doubled home a run in the first and reached on a walk in the second. 2-2. Fastball's on the outside corner. That's a called strike 3, and Preston Snavely rings up Cox. That is just the second strikeout for the Fort Collins right-hander, but he continues to roll along. It's 2 up and 2 down for the Patriots here in the 5th.
And 2 strikeouts, Denning, in the last 2 innings. Another sign that he may be starting to find himself here.
Dalton Dinkle takes a strike in at the knees, 0-1.
I mean, no strikeouts through the first 3 2/3, and now 2 strikeouts in the last inning.
Here comes his 0-1 delivery. Little ground ball right side. Over to cut it off is Tomasino. He will field Snavely underhand, and the flip is in time to retire the side. It's another quick 1-2-3 inning for Preston Snavely, who is firmly in a groove. And he sends us to the bottom half of the 5th. The score remains the Mulvane Patriots 5 and the Fort Collins Bandits.
To serve you across Wichita. Davis Liquor Outlet.
With over 20 years of tire and wheel experience, Wichita Tire and Alignment offers name brand tires, wheels, and auto repair services, including alignments, balancing, brakes, struts, and shock absorber work. Great customer service and great prices are our highest priority. We employ a well-trained staff specializing in the sale and installation of passenger car,
15
performance
seconds.
and light truck, or SUV tires. Special tire size requests are welcome. Call us at 522-2919 or visit us at 4460 South Seneca in Wichita. We are Wichita's full-service tire center. Call Chris at Wichita Tire and Alignment.
Mulvane Patriots 5, the Fort Collins Colorado Bandits 4 as we move into the bottom half of the 5th inning. Denning Garrick and Steve Strain bringing you the action as right-hander Ryan Erickson is back out for another inning of work. He'll deal with 2, 3, and 4 in the Fort Collins order, and he misses down and inside to Kalen Hammer. 1 ball and no strikes on the Bandits second baseman, who was 0 for 2 with a couple pop-outs to short. Erickson deals, and Hammer pops it up again. This time it'll be towards the first baseman Dinkle, who calls for it in foul territory and makes the catch. 2 pitches and 1 out for Fort Collins here in the 5th. And Steve, if Erickson looked untouchable through 3, it was the exact opposite after 2 outs were recorded in the 4th. He really hit a speed bump.
Well, he did, and again, it's the second time through the lineup, and you wonder if maybe the Fort Collins guys just went amongst themselves and talked about things, talked about what he was delivering, talked about what they were seeing, made some adjustments, and came out in the last inning and tagged him pretty good.
Isaac Bracken takes a ball inside and now drives it deep down the left field line. This ball is trouble if it's fair, and this ball is gone. Off the foul pole for Isaac Bracken. It's a solo homer, and Fort Collins has tied this game up at 5 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Well, and there's a perfect example of what I was talking about. A guy that popped up to center field his first time up. Now 2 for 2 his last 2 trips to the plate. A fourth inning single, and then that home run right there and an RBI, and we start all over at 5.
Racking a guy who had just 2 at-bats in the collegiate season with Northern Colorado, but he drops the bat head on a fastball, and Gabe Franklin was trying to match him with a monstrous cut at a fastball upstairs. He comes up empty, no balls and a strike. And Erickson winds and deals down low, 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Franklin has singled in the second, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the fourth. And he takes up and away, 2 balls and a strike.
So I think what we've seen here, Denning, in the last couple of innings is an offense for Fort Collins that's made some adjustments, and a pitcher in Preston Snavely that's done the same thing there.
Swinging a foul tip by Franklin, and it's now even at 2-2. The scoreboard now completely identical. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for both sides. 2-2. Down and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, making adjustments so far. The name of the game for Fort Collins. They looked left for dead after 2 innings. They were down 5-0, but that has changed in a hurry. Swinging a foul by Franklin as he stays alive, 3-2. Good cut on a fastball. And the activity has resumed down in the Mulvane pen. Some exhaustive research has led us to believe that is Jared Price. The 3-2 is cut on and missed as Franklin waves over the top of it. It's a strikeout for Erickson, and 2 down in the frame for the Bandits.
Do you want to explain your exhaustive research?
Well, Jared Price is the only guy on the roster without a number, and so I looked up Jared Price. He's got long hair, and so does the guy warming up down in the bullpen. And that's about as exhaustive as it gets. Bouncer out to second base, gloved on the backhand by Lawson. Tries to throw from his backside, and it's not going to be in time as Gendreau beats out an infield single. Lawson did everything he could just to get to that baseball, but then slipped as he was trying to gain his footing, and his throw to first not quite in time.
Yeah, his momentum carrying him out toward left center field, the second baseman moving to his right, and when he caught that, he wanted to make a throw running backwards. He slipped once, then fell down to the turf, and then tried to throw again, but wasn't in good position, and then on the third cock of the arm, he got rid of it, but way too late. But a heck of a job just to stop that one from going into the outfield.
Dill, first pitch swinging, pops it up, foul territory. Cox waiting for it, and he drops it. Off the heel of the glove of the catcher Cox, and that will give some new life to Nathan Dill, who looked like he was about to head back to the dugout with the 3rd out of the inning, but instead it's just no balls and a strike.
Only about 10 feet up the first base line, and for Cox, a fairly routine catch. There's a little bit of wind again, but not enough that's going to be fooling with him enough to not hold on to that one. He must have just taken his eye off of it. Erickson came off the hill as well, but that was all Cox's, and that's one he's got to make.
Dill again hacking away, grounds this one foul, and it's 0-2. He had a big hit in that 4th inning rally with an RBI double down in the left field corner and eventually came around to score. He is 2 for 2 with a single and that aforementioned double. As Gendreau at first base and 2 outs, 0-2. Chopping ground ball left side. Brown into field at chest high. Sets and rifles across in time to retire the side, but not before
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, head to visitwichita.com for all there is to see.
For 6 generations, this land has provided for this Kansas farmer's family. Now, it also provides affordable, clean energy for Kansas. Watch the full story at weststarenergy.com/cleanenergy.
Carter and Adam Brown at 6, 7, and 8 due up in the top half of the 6th inning as the Mulvane Patriots will try and regain the lead. After they led at one point in this ball game 5-0, it is now a 5-5 game, all tied up with the Fort Collins, Colorado Bandits here on opening night of the 83rd annual NBC World Series. Preston Snavely back out for another inning of work, and he deals to Sutherland outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Sutherland single in the first and then flew out to center field in the third. He is 1 for 2. 1-0 from Snavely. Popped up, foul territory. Third baseman Dill giving it a look, but it's going to get into the 4th row of seats. And it's 1-1. And all you have to do to know that Preston Snavely is settled in is take a look at the pitch count. He was at 46 through 2 innings of work, but since then, 6 pitches in the 3rd, 9 pitches in the 4th, and 10 pitches in the 5th. Ball and a strike, they count to Sutherland. Here's the offering. Fastball grabs the inside corner, 1-2.
I think it would be accurate to say each team has felt shell-shocked so far. Fort Collins first after giving up 5 in the first 2 innings, and then in a couple of more innings back-to-back, Mulvane did the same thing.
1-2, just down and inside. A fastball that pops the mid of dial, but doesn't get the call from home plate umpire Ryan Carl, and it's 2-2.
So each team has scored 5 in this game, Denning, and they've both done it in a very, very short amount of time.
Bouncing ball out towards second base. Hammer gets a nice easy shoulder high hop, and his throw on to first is in time to get Sutherland. And it is 1 up and 1 down for the Mulvane Patriots here in the top half of the 6th inning. And for Snavely, it has really been a tale of 2 ball games. He has only allowed 1 base runner since the end of the 2nd inning. That was the 1-out single from Channing Williams in the 4th. As Hunter Gear digs in from the left side now. He's first pitch hacking and drives it out towards left center field, but on the run is Mondragon, and he will get to it. Mondragon thought that was 3 outs. Unfortunately, we play 3 in this league, and so he will have to toss it back in. But 2 up and 2 down, and that's going to bring Adam Brown to the plate.
And you go back to the base hit that Preston Snavely gave up in the 4th inning. That runner was caught stealing, so even in that inning where he did give up a hit, he still faced a minimum.
Fastball strike on the outside corner to Adam Brown. Brown 1 for 2, single and a run scored. He has also popped out to the first baseman Tomasino. 0-1, line right at the third baseman Dill, who reaches up to make the catch, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Preston Snavely, who continues to roll along. We move to the bottom half of the 6th. Our score remains Mulvane 5 and Fort Collins 5. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Friends helping friends, neighbors helping neighbors.
For 6 generations, this land has provided for this Kansas farmer's family. Now, it also provides affordable, clean energy for Kansas. Watch the full story at weststarenergy.com/clean energy.
Half of the 6th inning. Jared Price, 6 foot, 185 pounds, from Midwest City, Oklahoma, plays his college baseball at Oklahoma Christian University. And he now contends with the left-hand hitting Quinn Tomasino. Takes a fastball upstairs. Tomasino is the reason that we are tied in this ball game.
or I suppose a big reason why, had a 2-run triple back in the 4th, and he lashes this one foul off to the left side and out of play.
Yeah, that triple made it 5-4, but still a very big play in this game as he hit it deep to the gap in right center field.
Grounds this one weakly out towards second base, fielding on the in-between hop, and making the toss is Lawson. And it's very quickly 2 up and 2 down for the Bandits in the 6th. The final line for the starter, Ryan Erickson. He will settle for a no decision. Goes 5 innings, struck out 4, walked 2, allowed 8 hits and 5 runs, all of which were earned. And he threw 79 pitches in those 5 innings of work. Fastball misses just a little bit away to the shortstop, Daniel Sarala, who has popped out to the catcher, Cox, and then reached on a walk his last time up in the 4th. In tight 2 balls and no strikes.
This game has a field inning after the two teams had their big innings that it's maybe kind of settling into more of a pitcher's duel here the second half of the game, the way things have started so far in the second half.
Sarala with a cut, and he comes up empty, 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, Preston Snavely is certainly making his case that it is a pitcher's duel. 2-1, grounded right side, gonna be a difficult play, but over to cut it off is Lawson, and his throw to first is in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for right-hander reliever Jared Price. He'll send us onward to the top of the 7th. Our score remains Mulvane 5 and Fort Collins 5. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Make sure your vehicle's AC is just right with a free Freon level check now at Just Right Auto Repair. They'll make sure your Freon's good. Tyler talks a little bit about success.
Each and every one of our customers that come in, we want them to come back. We want them to enjoy their meal. We want them to be happy. If for some reason we send you some food and let's say it doesn't taste right, let us know. I'm going to bend over backwards to take care of you. Our goal 30 years ago was to please every customer, and that is still our goal today.
Cholita's Mexican Restaurant, Central and Tyler.
To the top half of the 7th inning, all tied up at 5 between the Fort Collins, Colorado Bandits and the Mulvane Patriots. The Patriots, the visitors in the ballgame tonight. The Bandits are the home team. And it's Preston Snavely who is back out there for his 7th inning of work. He is at just 79 pitches, which is really incredible when you think about the fact that he threw 46 through 2 innings of work. And he'll face Mike Leal, the designated hitter, to start things off. He misses upstairs to the 9-hole. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, and not to mention the fact, Denning, that you don't want to burn your bullpen right away in this tournament.
Absolutely. Leal skies it out towards center field. Mondragon kind of slips, but he's eventually able to regain his footing and makes the catch out in left center as Leal is put away, and that is now 14 of the last 15 set down by Snavely.
Yeah, and it's big for the sake of this game to settle down, to get your groove and help your team get their offense going so you can win a ball game. But you're also thinking as a team about bullpens, and what Preston Snavely's done now, regardless of what happens, at least to get into the 7th, he's minimized how much the bullpen is going to have to be used.
Back to the top of the order, and Channing Williams, the shortstop, takes a strike, 0-1. This would be a good guy to get on for Mulvane with his stolen base ability. He has walked and singled tonight, but has also been caught stealing, and he cranks it out towards left field, but Bracken has it measured back a couple steps, and he makes the catch, and it's 2 up and 2 down. A good swing by Williams, but nothing to show for it.
And Mulvane's not even making Snavely work for these. They're coming up first pitch swinging a lot of times, so they're contributing to it as well by going right after Snavely and instead of staying patient a little bit, making him work for it.
Yeah, this pitch count, I know I keep harping on it, but it is just boggling my mind how efficient Snavely has been over the last couple innings. Javis Larson takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. The most pitches he's thrown in an inning since the 2nd was 10, and that was in the 5th.
Wow.
He's had a 6-pitch inning, a 9-pitch inning, a 10-pitch inning, and an 8-pitch inning as he misses just a little bit away to Larson, and it's 1-1. I mean, that is pounding the strike zone, and that is Mulvane with a lot of early count outs.
as the 1-1 is fouled just off to the left of us. Ricochets off the facing of the press box and down below, and it's 1-2. Larson has laid down a sacrifice bunt, has a 2-run double to the gap in left center, and then struck out swinging against Snavely in the 4th. 1-2 coming. Breaking ball down and inside. Larson had a notion, but he's able to check the swing and run it even.
Denny, you work here. You're here every night. Those foul balls get up here in a hurry.
They do. Yeah, I've taken one off my laptop. Too soon, Steve. 2-2. Bounced out towards second base. Hammer's got it shoulder high, and you guessed it, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Preston Snavely. He's set down 16 of the last 17 hitters that he's faced. It's stretch time here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. To the bottom half of the 7th, we are all tied up, Mulvane and Fort Collins. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Risk injector failure, clogged filters, and downtime anymore. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster is even backed by a 10-year, 10,000-hour warranty for even less risk.
In our Kansas City, Kansas, and Newkirk, Oklahoma, Two Rivers Co-op.
To the bottom half of the 7th inning, we are all tied up. The Fort Collins Colorado Bandits and the Mulvane Patriots doing battle here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Denny Garrick and Steve Strain calling the action as Jared Price back out for another inning for Mulvane. And his first pitch fastball is way inside to Jake Mondragon. It spins him out of the way and goes all the way back to the backstop. 1 ball and no strikes on the Fort Collins center fielder. Mondragon now takes down and outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. It has been a rough evening at the plate for Mondragon, with a couple strikeouts and a ground out to third. 2-0, that's down and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Price cruised through a 1-2-3-6, set down the bottom third of the Bandits' order in order, and now pours in a strike 3 and 1. It's Mondragon, Hammer, and Bracken, all right-handed hitters against the right-hand throwing Price. 3-1 is grounded out towards shortstop, fielded there by Williams, right near the second base bag, and it's tossed to first is in time as Price battles back to get Mondragon, and it's 1 up and 1 down for the Bandits here in the bottom half of the 7th. Jared Price, as we mentioned, a pitcher at Oklahoma Christian University, but he also was a hitter there, as his first offering to Hammer is swung on and fouled off to the right side. No balls and a strike. Just 5 pitching appearances for the Eagles for Jared Price, a 3.18 ERA in 5 2/3 innings. Gets a tapper out towards second base, gobbled up there by Lawson. The throw to first is in time, and it has been 5 batters faced and 5 batters retired for the right-handed reliever from Midwest City, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma Christian, the home of a new team that could have been eligible for the NBC, the Oklahoma City Indians, new to the Jayhawk League this season. They played at Oklahoma Christian, their home games this season. Tough year for them. They only won 4 games.
Always difficult breaking into a new league as Price has quickly fallen behind Isaac Bracken, 2 balls and no strikes. Missed with a breaking ball down and then a fastball way up and outside. Bracken with a solo home run his last time up, and now he's ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. He also has a single and a fly out to center, so 2 for 3. But his solo homer that banged off the left field foul pole, the reason why we're tied, and now he represents the go-ahead run as he draws a 2-out, 4-pitch walk.
First base runner for Fort Collins in about 2 full innings. They had 2 outs in the 5th inning the last time they had somebody aboard. That was Spencer Gendreau, who singled with 2 away but was stranded at first.
So it's Franklin, and surprise, surprise, he's first pitch whacking. He drives it out into center field, but it's playable for a gear. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. A 2-out walk, but nothing else for Fort Collins in the 7th. We move now to the 8th. Score still Mulvane 5 and Bandits 5.
To keep it local. So let's work together to grow a strong and healthy community. Be sure to visit us at autocraftinc.com.
Got it.
Three, 4, and 5 coming to the plate for the Mulvane Patriots here in the top half of the 8th inning. We are all tied up at 5, and Fort Collins will make a call to the bullpen as right-hander Bo Lofink will come on to face Michael Lawson, Caleb Cox, and Dalton Dinkle. Lofink coming on will spell the end for Preston Snavely, who battled through 7 innings, allowing 7 hits and 5 runs all earned. He struck out 2 and walked 2 through 88 pitches, but really kept his team in the ballgame long enough to get the offense going. Lofink throws a strike on the outside corner to Lawson, and it's 0-1 on the Patriots' second baseman.
Lofink started his career at Western Nebraska. The roster for Fort Collins has him now heading to Adams State, which is also in Colorado.
Off the outside corner with what looked like a changeup to Lawson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lawson has popped out to short, bounced back to the mound, and then flew out to left. 0 for 3. A lefty and then 2 righties due up here in the top of the 8th for Mulvane, and he takes upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Lofink, this last season for Adams State, had a somewhat difficult year, an ERA at 11.88 in 16 2/3 innings of work, 1 and 2 with a save. 2-1. This is upstairs, 3 balls and a strike. And that's going to prompt a visit to the mound from his catcher, Chris Dial. And really, Steve, I don't think we can say enough about the outing from Preston Snavely, who allowed 5 runs in his first 2 innings of work, and then promptly set down 16 of the last 17 that he faced.
And again, for multiple reasons, not just to help hold the score at 5-0 until your bats got going, but also your team didn't have to go to the bullpen until the 8th, when it was looking like they might have to go there much earlier than that. He was on the ropes. There was a case very early in the game, 2nd inning, where we thought he might get pulled if he allowed one more batter to reach base, and he didn't, got out of it, and really righted the ship.
Lofink needs to right the ship right now. He's got a 3-1 count, deals, and he gets a swing and a miss. Pitch working to the back foot of Lawson, runs it full at 3-2. Now maybe Snavely just pulling the old rope-a-dope. Just hang out on the ropes, let them punch themselves out through 2 innings, and then fire away for 5 scoreless. 3-2. Swing and a miss. A changeup had Lawson out in front. It's a strikeout for Lofink, and 1 up and 1 down for Mulvane in the top of the 8th. It's a gutsy pitch right there from the right-hander, going to an off-speed breaking ball. And a 3-2 count to a dangerous hitter, but he threw a good one and gets the punch out.
And now it becomes a battle of the bullpens. Each team has gone there now. Who's got the better pen from here on out? Should be fun to find out in a 5-5 game.
Caleb Cox takes a curveball that snaps in across the inside corner, 0-1. Cox with an RBI double in the first, reached on a walk in the second, and then struck out looking against Snavely in the 5th. 1 for 2 on the ballgame so far. Right-on-right matchup against Lofink, who works off the first base side of the rubber, and he snaps in another breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Lofink, not a big guy, just 5'9", 175 pounds, from Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Shoulder high set
0-2. Another breaking ball looped out towards short. Sliding grab there by Sarala. And it's a pretty good two-strike swing from Cox, but he's retired as it's 2 up and 2 down for the Patriots.
Get outdoors this summer and your own weekend with Coleman.
Tried the well 3 times in a row. That breaking ball hung just a little bit. Cox put a pretty good swing on it, but right at the Bandit shortstop. And now it's the first baseman, Dalton Dinkle. Lofink's fastball misses up and inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Dinkle, who has an RBI single in the first and then has popped out to second and grounded out to the first baseman Tomasino his last time up. Right-hand hitter. Fouls it down the right field side, 1-1. Dalton Dinkle played this last year for Cali County Community College. Appears to still be rocking their orange spikes, despite the red and blue color scheme for the Mulvane Patriots. Not uncommon to see guys wearing their collegiate gear in the summer. Takes a strike on the inside corner. It's 1-2.
That's funny. You mentioned that. I was in Dodge City last weekend with the Derby Twins, and Dodge City had a player who, of course, was wearing the green Dodge City A's with the white pants, red cleats.
Of course. Color theory. Those two go great together.
It was a holiday theme.
1-2, bounced out towards shortstop. Charging into field, it is Sarala. He's going to have to get rid of it quickly, but he does so in time. Dinkle is retired. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Lofink, and he sends us to the bottom half of the 8th. Our score still, the Mulvane Patriots 5, the Fort Collins Bandits 5. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Make sure your vehicle's AC is just right with a free Freon lever check now at Just Right Auto Repair. They'll make sure your Freon's good to go at no charge with the purchase of any other service. Oil change, tire rotation, radiator flush, just whatever's clever, and they'll throw in the AC Freon check free. Bob Schaefer and the boys at Just Right Auto Repair, just west of West Street on the north side of Central, know that riding around in that vehicle with a malfunctioning air conditioner can make your attitude not quite just right. Just Right Auto Repair, 942-4747, 942-4747. Jesse Soria of Cholitas Mexican Restaurant at Central and Tyler talks a little bit about success.
Each and every one of our customers that come in, we want them to come back. We want them to enjoy their meal. We want them to be happy. If for some reason we send you some food and let's say it doesn't taste right, let us know. I'm going to bend over backwards to take care of you. Our goal 30 years ago was to please every customer, and that is still our goal today.
Cholitas Mexican Restaurant, Central and Tyler.
Bottom half of the 8th inning. We are all tied up at 5. Lawrence Dumont Stadium, the setting for the Fort Collins Bandits and the Mulvane Patriots. As Jared Price needles the outside corner with his strike to Spencer Gendreau to get us underway. It's 5, 6, and 7 due up for Fort Collins. Gendreau, Dill, and Dial. And Gendreau pops it up to the right side of the infield. That is Dinkle, the first baseman, called off by Williams, the shortstop, who puts it away for the first out here in the 8th. Gendreau retired for just the 2nd time tonight, but it's 1 up and 1 down. So that's going to bring Nathan Dill to the plate. Or excuse me, this is Gendreau. Price into the windup and deals a fastball that's upstairs off the tip of the glove and back to the screen. 1 ball and no strikes. Wind in the pitch, cut on and missed, and it's 1-1. Dill with a single, a double, and a ground out to third. As Price kicks into the motion and delivers, swinging a foul back to the screen, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. All tied up at 5, bottom half of the 8th inning. Mulvane getting 2 in the first, 3 more in the second. Fort Collins 4 in the bottom of the 4th and 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch misses down and outside, and that'll even things up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chris Dial waiting in the on-deck circle. Tomasino if it gets that far. Pitch on the way. Driven into left field towards the corner. Going to be a tough play, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Moving his way around first and digging towards second, and in there is Gendreau, and he's got himself a 1-out double.
So a man aboard in scoring position for Fort Collins. He represents the potential go-ahead run, and now it appears as though the Bandits want to utilize a pinch runner, and that is what they are going to do. Casey Kostrazewa will come on to pinch run at second base with one out in the frame, and that will bring Chris Dial to the plate. A base hit here could potentially give Fort Collins the lead.
Pinch runner second base, number 47. For Griswold. Hi, buddy. Catcher number 23, Chris Dial.
Price winds and fires, and Dial taps it back to the screen. No balls and a strike. Dial, since coming on as a defensive replacement early in the ballgame, has had 3 at-bats. He has flown out to left, singled and scored a run, and then flew out to right. Price, the shoulder high set and deals. Cut and a miss. Fastball upstairs and a late swing. It's 0-2.
What do you think about the gamble by Fort Collins here, because they get rid of their number 4 hitting cleanup hitter for speed? Pitch fouled back and out of play. Obviously, 1 run gives you the lead, but if we go to extra innings, you have just now burned your, I'm sorry, number 5 hitter, but still a very good hitter in DH.
It is a gamble, to be sure. So Gendreau is out of this ball game. Pitch is swung on and foul tipped right at home plate, and it remains no balls and 2 strikes on Dial. And the wind really picking up now. It is completely changed directions, by the way. It was blowing out to left to start this ball game, now blowing towards the right field corner and at a much more rapid clip. Swing and a miss. Fastball by him on the outside corner. It's a strikeout of Dial, and 2 down in the frame for Tomasino.
Yeah, and that wind also blowing in from the direction where we saw some of the electricity in the air. Now you can see some dust from the outfield. There's none on this field, but there is beyond the left field wall, and you start to see some dirt blowing in, and so it's suddenly gotten interesting here weather-wise, and we'll have to see what happens. They're going to intentionally walk the next runner, the batter, by the way, Tomasino, runners at first and second. There's still another game scheduled after this one, Denny, one that was supposed to start at 9:30.
Yeah, that could get interesting. That could get affected by weather in a hurry. The intentional walk issued, no need for the pitches to be thrown, as the pitch is swung on and fouled back by the shortstop Sarala, 0-1. Sarala has popped out to the catcher. He has walked and bounced out to second, 0 for 2. He's got the pinch runner, Kostrazewa, out at second base, and Tomasino on at first. Fouls this one off the mask of the catcher Cox, and it's now no balls and 2 strikes. The 9-hole hitter with a chance to be the hero as we play here in the bottom of the 8th inning. All tied up at 5. Fort Collins roaring back from what was a 5-0 deficit at the end of 2 innings of play. Takes outside from the right-hander Price, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mulvane will send the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to the plate in the top half of the 9th inning once we get there. 1-2. Lashed foul. Watch out. Off the facing of the first base dugout. Thankfully, there is some netting there that protects the players leaning out over the railing. An emergency hack from Sarala just to stay alive, and he almost took out a teammate. 2 on, 2 out. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Price delivers. Fouled off again. Another good swing from Sarala, but late, and it remains 1-2.
I actually saw that happen this season in Derby, Denning. A Derby Twins player lined one into the Derby dugout. Relief pitcher standing there on the rail had to go to the hospital with 4 stitches.
Wow. Those will get on you in a hurry. 1-2. Grounded out towards second base. Charging in to field it and throw on the run is Lawson, and the side is retired. Couple runners for the Bandits, but no runs to show for it. We move to the 9th. Our score remains the Fort Collins Bandits 5, the Mulvane Patriots 5. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
With over 20 years of tire and wheel experience, Wichita Tire and Alignment offers name brand tires, wheels, and auto repair services, including alignments, balancing, brakes, struts, and shock absorber work. Great customer service and great prices are our highest priority. We employ a well-trained staff specializing in the sale and installation of passenger car, performance and light truck, or SUV tires. Special tire size requests are welcome. Call us at 522-2919 or visit us at 4460 South Seneca in Wichita. We are Wichita's full-service tire center. Call Chris at Wichita Tire and Alignment.
Hello everyone, this is the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel. I always played on a winning team, whether it was with the Shockers or in the NBA. When I look for a winning team in the insurance business, hands down, it's Bill Ball's Allstate Insurance Agency. With over 30 years of providing insurance coverage in the Wichita area. This is a slam dunk, in my opinion, of who I want on my insurance team. Give them a call today at 316-773-9864. And tell them the X-Man sent you.
Well, that battle of the bullpens is a stalemate so far. Everybody throwing up zeros. We move to the top of the 9th inning. The Fort Collins Bandits and the Mulvane Patriots all tied up at 5. The Patriots are going to send 6, 7, and 8 to the plate. Tyler Sutherland, Hunter Aguirre, and Adam Brown against right-hander Bo Lofink, who was out for his 2nd inning of work. He tossed a 1-2-3, top of the 8th. Sutherland squares to bunt, and he takes low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Denning, I mentioned earlier, Lofink started his career at Western Nebraska before moving on to Adams State. In his 2 years there, 111 and lost 15 games. Pitched in a total of 41 innings.
Sutherland rifles one out towards right center field. It's going to be in for a base hit. Over to cut it off is Franklin. But the potential go-ahead run stands aboard at first. It's a leadoff single for Tyler Sutherland.
And again, a team that likes to run. We're on all turf here. Sutherland appears to be a guy with pretty good speed too, so you wonder now, top of the 9th inning, if they're going to have the bunt on here with their center fielder Aguirre coming up next.
Sutherland 8 of 8 in stolen bases this season. But the only attempted base stealer tonight, Channing Williams, was cut down in the 4th on a great throw by the catcher Dial. Squaring to bunt is Aguirre. He gets it down first base side, letting it roll, and into foul territory is Tomasino. That was a gutsy play, but ultimately the right one by the Fort Collins first baseman, letting that one roll foul. A little bit surprised there. It almost looked like Aguirre bunting more for a hit. That wasn't a traditional sacrifice where he was trying to drag it with him up the first base line.
Yeah, he really did. Aggressive bunt. Of course, you're not going to get help, too, from this turf. You're going to get a quicker roll farther up the line, but you're right. Did try and drag that one up the first base line.
Here's a move over to first base, and diving back in head first is Sutherland. Fort Collins, more activity down in their pen. Tanner Scheninger beginning to loosen, a right-hander. Squaring to bunt again is Aguirre. Now he pulls the bat back, swings and misses. The runner's caught up between bases, but Sutherland's going to steal it safely as the throw in is late.
Oh, did Sutherland get a big break right there? Dill behind the plate after the bunt attempt. Didn't see the runner going from first to second, and Sutherland thought, uh-oh, I'm in no man's land, but Dill didn't see him. Dill could have fired him out. Dill behind the plate, just standing there with the ball, then threw down to second, but it was too late. He had Sutherland dead in his tracks, just didn't see him halfway between first and second.
That was a no, yes play if I've ever seen one. Not well executed at all by Mulvane. It looked like they had some confusion as Aguirre was squaring to bunt, then he pulled the bat back, swung and missed, which is the ultimate no-no on a slash, and Sutherland then just got caught in between first and second, but thankfully got kind of lost amongst the bodies and able to steal second. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. Lofink could use a strikeout. He won't get it here as he drops a changeup low, and it's 1-2.
And we've already seen how Dill can throw. Great arm, accurate, but he just simply didn't know that Sutherland was hung up halfway between first and second. Sutherland then decided to go on to second and got there easily.
A ball and 2 strikes. Lofink deals. Breaking ball to the back foot. Ball 2. That'll even things up on Aguirre. He has grounded out twice, once to short, once to second, and then lined out to center field his last time up in the 6th. That was against the starter Preston Snavely. Both starters getting no decisions tonight. 2-2. Driven out towards right field, but it's right at Franklin. He sets up, makes the catch, tagging at second and hitting for third is Sutherland. The throw in is not going to be in time. So Aguirre does the job. He strikes it well out towards right field, and I think, Steve, the difference is that Franklin couldn't quite get his feet set before he made the catch. Couldn't get anything behind the throw.
Well, his problem, Denning, was he started in on that ball. He started in about 2 or 3 steps, then realized that he needed to backtrack, and he didn't have time to get back. Usually you'll see an outfielder back up on a ball, so his momentum's going forward when he makes the catch, but he had misjudged the trajectory, stepped in a couple steps, then could only have time to move back and make the catch.
Adam Brown, first pitch swing, pops it foul off to the right side and out of play, 0-1. 5-5 our score, top half of the 9th inning. The potential go-ahead run just 90 feet away. Fort Collins has brought the infield all the way in. It's a right-on-right matchup for Lofink. Line drive into left center field, that's in for a base hit. In to score is Sutherland. And it's an RBI single for Adam Brown as Mulvane has taken a 6-5 lead here in the top half of the 9th inning.
Second base hit of the game for Brown, just ripping one out into center field. And there's still only one out in the inning, but you go back to the play where Sutherland was basically gifted second base, and you wonder if that's going to be the deciding play that, or one of them that helps come back and haunt Fort Collins, I should say, in this game.
Lofink now will try and do his best to limit the damage. He'll battle Mike Leal, the left-hand hitting DH. And he throws a changeup just down and outside for ball 1. In case you are wondering, the Bandits will have the top of their order due up in the bottom half of this 9th inning. Mondragon, Hammer, and Bracken. 1-0. Bounce down and inside, good block by the catcher Dial, sliding to his right to keep that in front, but it's 2 balls and no strikes on Leal, who has singled and scored a run, then grounded out to first and flown out to center. Dial is going to call time and jog out for a quick word with his right-hander. And it looks like down in the Mulvane pen, they have some activity beginning as well. That is their sidewinding closer, Ryan Bailey, who has been as close to automatic as you can get in summer collegiate baseball. He is a good one. And that's why it's important for Fort Collins to keep this deficit at 1. It's hard enough to score 1 against him, much less multiple runs. 2 balls, no strikes, the count to Leal. Check of Brown on at first. Pitch is swung on and fouled back, a vicious cut. As Leal just underneath it, the count moves to 2 balls and a strike. Brown, one of the few on this Mulvane club who doesn't run a whole lot. Just 2 stolen base attempts this season. He was successful in both. Lined, diving snag by the second baseman Hammer. Wow, what a play. That is a full extension dive from the second baseman Kalen Hammer to take away what looked like a sure base hit.
That one was destined for right center field on the line. The second baseman Hammer moving to his right. You're right, he had to fully extend on that kind of dive and landed on his knees. What a great play, and a big one too. That had a chance to be a gapper and possibly get some insurance home for Mulvane. Now they've got their insurance run still over at first base. What a play.
What a play indeed. We head back to the top of the order for Williams. He takes down and outside for ball 1, but that could be a pivotal play in this inning.
I mean, even if Brown only gets to third base on that play, there's a runner at third and 1 out.
And there's a base hit up the middle, and how crucial could that prove to be? That would have almost certainly scored a run. Instead, it's just runners at first and second and 2 outs as Williams is aboard for the 3rd time tonight. And that's going to bring up Javis Larson. So easily the defensive play of the game, probably of the NBC World Series so far. We are just 3 games in, but that was some highlight reel stuff from Hammer. And now a big matchup with the Mulvane right fielder. Takes a strike, 0-1. Larson has laid down a sac bunt, has a 2-run double, and then is struck out and bounced out to second. All of his at-bats against the starter, Preston Snavely. He is the only man who has not had a look at Bo Lofink. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good changeup. And it had Larson well out on his front foot, 0-2.
Yeah, he took something off of that one. Larson way out in front. Nice pitch that time to come back with the strike.
Brown the runner on at second. Williams the man on at first. 2 outs. 6-5 Mulvane our score. 0-2 cut on and missed, and Lofink able to limit the damage, but Mulvane takes the lead on the RBI single from Adam Brown. They need 3 outs to finish it. We move to the bottom half of the ninth. Our new score, the Patriots 6 and the Bandits 5. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Hi, this is Robin Lace with KQAM 1480, the Big Talker, and I am about motors, and I'm talking about how low can you go. It is amazing. They're located at 2759 South Broadway. Here's just a couple of examples. I'm looking at right now, it's an 05 Pontiac Sunfire, less than about 70,000 miles on it. It's a beautiful color of blue. Originally $83.95, now $69.95. That is phenomenal. Check this out. It's an 04 Ford Focus red. $69.95 originally, now it's $69.95. I told you they are cutting prices like crazy. This one's my favorite. Okay, it's an 02 Jeep Liberty, and it's red, of course. $89.95 originally, now $69.95. They are slashing prices like crazy over here.
15 seconds.
Here's an 05 Kia Sedona, and it's a maroon color, originally $64.95, now $39.95. I'm not kidding. They are making deals like crazy. It's going on today. Economy Motors, 2759 South Broadway. Ask for Samantha or Gary.
Six to 5, the Mulvane Patriots in front as we move into the bottom half of the ninth inning, and they will turn things over to their excellent closer, right-hander Ryan Bailey, to try and get the final 3 outs. Bailey, 6'1", 230 pounds, plays college baseball at Kentucky Wesleyan, but more importantly, in the context of the moment, plays his summer ball for the Mulvane Patriots, and he will try and cap off their first ever NBC game with a victory. He will be facing the top of the Fort Collins order. It's Jake Mondragon, Kalen Hammer, and Isaac Bracken, a trio of right-handed hitters, against a sidewinding righty in Bailey. He has been outstanding so far this year for the Patriots. 15 games totaling 14 2/3 innings of work. He is 2-1 with 6 saves and a sparkling ERA of 1.23. Just 11 hits allowed in those 14 2/3, 19 strikeouts and 2 walks. So does not hand out many free passes at all, as the center fielder Mondragon stands in to get us underway.
He also comes from the side inning, which will make it especially tough for right-handed hitters like Mondragon.
3 righties due up in the inning. Mondragon takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. There will be one other game to follow this one. The Northwest Arizona Boom taking on the Valley Center Maud Daubers. No balls and a strike. Bailey, the shoulder high set, and a swing and a foul back. No balls and 2 strikes on Mondragon. He is 0 for 4 tonight. Couple strikeouts, couple groundouts. 1 to third and 1 to short.
I will have the call on the NBC World Series YouTube channel of that Valley Center game as well. Weather permitting, as you can tell by the wind.
You can really hear the wind gusting now. 0-2, Tapper back to the mound. Bailey's got it, sets his feet, throws to first. It's in time, and Mondragon is retired. Bailey gets the speedy leadoff hitter, and now just 2 outs to go for Mulvane. This is a Group C matchup for the Patriots. Pool C, I should say, and it's already the second game in that pool. The 316 Elite beat the Round Rock Express to go to 1-0, and so it's important for the Patriots to try and keep pace as Kalen Hammer comes to the plate now. Bailey working exclusively out of the stretch, gets a swing and a miss, a fastball in the inside corner, 0-1. And if you are watching on our YouTube live stream, you may be able to see there are just dust blowing all the way across the field. I can't imagine that makes it any easier on these hitters trying to pick up the baseball out of the hand of Bailey. Is 0-1, cut on and missed. Fastball by him on the outside corner, it's 0-2.
Yeah, and you're looking into that dust too, whether you're a right-handed hitter or left, it's pretty much coming at you because it's coming in from left center field. So either way, as you're looking out to the pitcher, that dust is coming in right at you. It cannot be easy.
Here's the set, 0-2.
Swing and a miss. Fastball up and away. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Kalen Hammer. And Bailey strikes him out. One more out to go for the Mulvane Patriots as they try and improve to 1-0 in NBC World Series play. The only man standing between them and that fate is Isaac Bracken, the left fielder, but this is a dangerous man to contend with. He has been on base 3 times, once very briefly on a solo homer off the left field foul pole. Fastball, strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
It's been a weird game, Denning. Mulvane with 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and none till the 9th, and now they're 1 out away from winning.
I'm sure the Patriots will not have any qualms about the W, however it comes. 0-1 is slapped foul down the right field side. A late cut by Bracken, and it had a lot of slicing action on it as it makes its way out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Mulvane 1 strike away from capping this one off. Gabe Franklin would follow should the ball game continue. 6-5 our score. Bailey is ready. 0-2 coming. Ground ball out towards second base. This should do it. Lawson gobbles it up. His throw to first is in time, and that is the ball game. The Mulvane Patriots improve to 1-0 with a 6-5 victory here tonight at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Steve and I will be back in a few moments to wrap things up. You're listening to the NBC World Series here on KQAM.